And we want to explain that the food is up here and the drinks are downstairs. So that's just so that we all get exercise and stay in shape or get back in shape. A couple of people as they were coming in asked about paying, and we pay Chris to share if you haven't paid, right? And there's Chris pretty paying. We would like to know, a show of hands, how many people are going to stay for dinner?
I'm thrilled. There's 60 people coming. If they aren't all here, they're coming. I want to tell you a little about the background. It won't take long. Mr. Rogers and I started in camping at Camp Beechwood in New York City. And we had 500 campers. And it was quite an experience. It was a combination day and resident camp. And it was a business. And then we went to Camp Sportsman's as directors under Shelley Black. And we learned about horses. And we learned about horse races. And we honed our skills. But then we went to Otter. And Otter was not a business. It was a way of life. And Howie and Mr. Rogers and Bernie and I wanted Camp Otter to be different. We wanted you to learn the skills to develop. We wanted you to enjoy the North. To develop. We wanted you to enjoy the North Woods. We wanted you, like all of us, to live without running water, no electricity, no TV, no and we love it. And as George Walker said, Camp Otter became our levy. So I welcome you all and have a good time.
So we'll enjoy lunch, and then we have some festivities afterwards and reminiscing. We want everybody to, just so you're prepared, to stand up, tell a little bit about themselves, what they've been doing, and just bring us all up to date. And so we're just, since Doug, we should also recognize Kathy Fernbach, who was with Doug. They were the planners of the event primarily, I think, and neither of them could make it. So we'll have fun. Don't worry.
We also had a reunion in 2000. And I want to thank Chris Ducher, who's done a magnificent job, and she's the treasurer, and Doug Webster for sending out all those letters, and George Walker for writing that beautiful article, which brought us to you here, and also Jane Roberts for her signs and her tags, and Catherine Herbach and Marion for planning the venue. All right, thank you.
My daughter, my three children came to Camp Otter long before I did. I figured sooner or later I'm going to get involved with Camp Otter. So we learned the same. Marry the boss's daughter, marry the boss's wife. I soon learned when I got up to Otter for the first time, there were certain people I had to know and I get to good with. George Walker, Moose and Bobby, and now Jane Roberts. I taught school before that in the summertime, so I couldn't give up. And then I quit school and I said, this is going to be life. So it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
When I came here, I thought I would be the oldest camper. But then I met John Boulder. I was the oldest. Then I thought I probably been to camp longer than anybody I knew, but then I met Peter Dustin, and he went to camp longer than I did. But I did go from 1942 to 1951, which is a very long time. And I went because my mother didn't want me to work. I have so many memories. I really hard to know when I was on camp that long. I remember the story about, when we were just talking about canoe trips. I was never very big, and the pack was always bigger than I was. And I remember them thinking, what am I never get out here before? I'll never go again. But particularly, I don't know how many of you people remember Howie Order.
Yes.
Howie Order was a true character. I'm not sure everybody knows just what a great athlete he was. He was all high baseball and all high basketball when he was in Buffalo. He was all-American basketball at Cornell. He could play badminton like anything. He would give you 10 points in a badminton game and beat you. And he would run all over the place. He'd never take 2 or 3 steps for the whole game. What I really remember, though, was on his birthday, he used to do the backflip off the tower. It was really amazing. He would just stand up there and let himself go, and it would be this terrible grade. But he always got up. He also had a tremendous sports knowledge. He could tell you the name of every team, what their record was. It was most amazing, and he's one of my fondest memories. I think I'll stop there because I'm sure there are many people that have other memories. I'll pass it on to Don Moser.
Thanks for telling I'm with the old. I was only at Camp Otter 1 year for 8 weeks. It was really a turning point in my life. After that was 1942. And I think I did go back. As a matter of fact, I should say the reason I was there is Howie Order just got to Nicholas School. I was a basketball player, and he sort of suggested that maybe I'd learn more about basketball if I came to the camp. So I did, and I did make the team for the next 3 years. And I should say in that regard, Howie came from Cornell, and he had us play against the Cornell Frogs. And I think it was in 1944 that they had the first tall player in the country, before tall players were called clumsy. Ed Peterson, 6'10". I was the tallest man on the Nicholas. I'm not 6'10". And I was congratulated because I had held Ed Peterson to 38 points. Howie said I did a wonderful job. But he got me there the first year, and it did change things. I was a city boy. I think the next few years, the reason is because we had a victory garden in Winsville. We lived downtown Buffalo. My mother got a C ration ticket card for extra gasoline for the victory garden. And so she got all this gasoline, never took me out to Winsville, which is 15 miles. I had to ride my bike every day out to Winsville and back, so she got the gasoline for her car. And I had to stay home so she could get it. But I should say that it changed my life. After college in 48, I went back to Otter for 3 straight years to borrow canoes, and we took canoe trips. And then got my sons interested, we took canoe trips. Dug out, went up the French River, up higher. That and that with my sons up until the 70s. But canoeing has been a great part of my life, outdoor life, and I think it's all for the holidays.
I've been fortunate enough to have experienced a lot of adventures in my life. Starting in 1933 when my first trip up to the Canadian Bush occurred. It took us 2 days to get from Hamburg up to Georgian Bay and stay over, of course, in Bracebridge, Great along the way. And went there for, 10 years, 33 to 43. The first year at Otter was 44. I had a serious knee injury in 45, didn't go 46 and 47. In 1948, I returned to Georgian Bay and worked illegally at 15 as a shore boy. In 49, by the moves that I hitchhiked out west at 16. In 51, bought an airplane for $350 and flew it out west and back. And finished up university, into the military, and finally wound back up on Smoke Lake in 54. And even though I was with Buffalo Forge for 33 years, opened their office in Tampa, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, came back and ran Cleveland. No matter where we were in Florida or Seattle, we'd always fly back to Smoke Lake. 75, returned to Cleveland, ran the Cleveland office, at which time we were close enough to actually buy a place on Smoke Lake, which the kids now have. Thank you for being with us. And the one thing that stands out in my mind with Otter, not just being welded in the boxcars or the knife, and let off on a school bus with a bad clutch so we can push over the hill and throw our duffel bags in the bottom of leaky canoes and little dysentery, little impetigo, camp stew, potatoes, tomatoes, and marmalade, beans, what was it, Bill? Beans, and fruit, so Clem, what have you. How we are literally physically saved by life. Excuse me. And then he taught me the duck float when we're down at Sandy Beach learning how to swim. I severed a rather nasty ski accident. I taught water skiing. And if it hadn't been for that duck float, I wouldn't be here. Thanks very much.